Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting smart about fascinating topics, breaking down complex sources into the key knowledge you need. Today we're digging into something really amazing, a world we often think of as, well, silent. We're talking about the secret language of trees. For ages we've pictured trees as these sort of solitary figures in the forest, right? Just competing for sun, water, basically on their own. But what if that's completely wrong? What if there's this whole bustling, interconnected society happening right under our noses or under the bark? A world of chatter and cooperation. So our mission today is to unpack how trees actually talk to each other, look at the science that's uncovering this, and figure out what it means for, well, how we see nature and maybe even ourselves. The thing that really grabbed me initially is the puzzle. Trees don't have brains, no central nervous system, no obvious ears or eyes. So how on earth are they managing this really sophisticated communication? It seems impossible. Before we get fully into that, though, a quick note.
If you love these kinds of insights, the stuff we're about to explore, you absolutely have to check out Mind Expansion Daily. Seriously, it's where we find so much of the incredible info for these deep dives. So head over there, and while you're at it, please hit that like button and subscribe to Mind Expansion Daily. That way you won't miss any more brain-boosting content. And hey, if you find what we share valuable, maybe consider buying us a coffee. The link's right down there in the description. Your support really helps us keep exploring these amazing topics. Lastly, we definitely want to hear from you as we go through this today. Tell us in the comments what blows your mind most about tree communication, and also let us know where you're listening from. We're really trying to expand our reach worldwide. Okay, so let's get into it. This traditional view of trees just battling it out alone, it's not just shifting. It feels like it's being totally flipped on its head. We're starting to see them as part of this vibrant, really interconnected community, not just sharing space, but actively interacting.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating about that is how it forces us to question our, very human-centric view of intelligence. We tend to think sophisticated behavior needs a brain, a nervous system like ours. But this research is showing that really complex stuff, including communication, happens in life forms that are completely different. It makes you rethink what communication even is.
Okay, so how do they do it? I mean, if they don't have mouths or phones, what's the mechanism?
Yeah.
What's the first big secret?
Well, the first one, and it's arguably the most mind-blowing, is literally right under our feet. It's the mycorrhizal network. People sometimes call it the Wood Wide Web, which is pretty catchy, but also quite accurate.
Read Wide Web. Okay.
Yeah, it's this incredibly intricate symbiotic relationship between tree roots and specific types of fungi. These fungi create these vast underground webs, tiny threads connecting multiple trees, sometimes even trees of different species.
Right, symbiosis. So
Yeah.
they're helping each other out. The fungus gets something, the tree gets something.
Exactly. The fungi are like extensions of the tree's root system. They massively increase the surface area for absorbing water and crucial nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, which can be hard to get. And in return, the tree feeds the fungi sugars, the stuff it makes through photosynthesis.
Okay, a fair trade. But you said it connects multiple trees. So it's bigger than just one-on-one deals.
Oh, much bigger. It scales up massively. It becomes this shared resource grid, an information superhighway for the whole forest community.
An information superhighway.
Mhm.
Wow. So resources are moving around on this network, like between different trees.
Absolutely. That's one of the most stunning discoveries. We're talking about mother trees, these larger, older, more established trees. They can actually send resources, carbon, nitrogen, water, defense signals through this fungal network to younger saplings nearby.
You mean like deliberately feeding the young ones?
Precisely. Especially seedlings struggling in the dank shade of the forest floor. They need that boost. It's like a parent supporting their kids through hidden tunnels. It's vital community support.
That's incredible. And wasn't it Dr. Suzanne Simard's work that really brought this to light? What exactly did she do?
Yes, her work at the University of British Columbia in the 90s was absolutely pivotal. It was quite controversial at first, actually. She did these experiments where she injected radioactive carbon isotopes into matured Douglas firs.
Yeah.
Then she tracked where that carbon went. And astonishingly, it showed up in neighboring trees, not just other firs, but even in birch trees, connected through the same network.
Wow, even different species.
Even different species. It showed this wasn't just passive leakage, it was directed transfer. It suggests a kind of strategic investment in the health of the whole forest community, not just pure competition.
So it's about sharing food, basically.
Yeah.
But does it work for warnings, too? Like if a tree's in trouble?
Yes, definitely. It acts as an early warning system. If a tree is stressed, maybe from drought or insects or injury, It can send out chemical distress signals through its roots. These signals travel along the fungal network, alerting neighbors. They might then ramp up their own defenses or even share resources to help the stressed tree. It's a lifeline.
Okay, underground networks. That's one channel. But you're saying they communicate above ground, too,
Yeah,
through the air.
that's right. Trees have mastered airborne communication as well. It's fascinating. When a tree is attacked, say, by caterpillars chewing its leaves, it doesn't just sit there and take it.
It fights back.
It fights back.
Huh.
Internally, it produces defensive chemicals like tannins that make its leaves taste bad or hard to digest. But externally, and this is the communication part, it releases specific volatile organic compounds, VOCs, into the air.
VOCs, like scents.
Essentially, yes. Think of them as alarm calls or airborne pheromones. Nearby trees can actually smell or detect these VOCs through pores on their leaves.
And they react.
They do. They eavesdrop on the warning signal and preemptively boost their own defenses, getting ready before the insects arrive. It gives them a head start.
That is amazing. The source mentioned that classic example with giraffes and acacia trees in Africa. What was going on there?
Ah, yes, that's a perfect illustration. When giraffes start munching on acacia leaves, the tree being eaten releases ethylene gas, that's a specific VOC.
Oh.
This ethylene floats through the air, and nearby acacia trees detect it. Within minutes, literally minutes, they start pumping tannins into their leaves, making them really bitter and indigestible.
So the giraffes notice.
Oh, yeah. Giraffes are smart browsers. They learn quickly and often move upwind to find trees that haven't gotten the warning yet. This airborne alert system can protect trees for hundreds of meters.
So they warn each other, but can they also, call for help, bring in reinforcements?
Believe it or not, yes. Some plants, when attacked by certain herbivores, release specific VOCs that act like a beacon, attracting predators or parasites of those herbivores.
You're kidding, like calling in the cavalry.
Exactly. Imagine a tree under attack by beetles sending out a chemical SOS that attracts specific types of wasps that prey on or lay eggs in those beetles. It's not just defense, it's calling in allies. It's this incredibly sophisticated, multi-layered community defense system.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. Underground networks, airborne warnings.
Okay.
What else? There's mention of electrical signals, like actual electricity in trees.
Yes, that's another layer that really challenges our assumptions. Trees do use electrical signals. They travel through the tree's vascular tissues, the phloem and xylem, basically its plumbing system.
So, like nerves, but tree nerves.
Well, sort of, but much, much slower than animal nerve impulses. But the principle is similar. A wound on a leaf, for example, can trigger an electrical signal that travels down the stem to other parts of the same tree. Or potentially, researchers think, even jump to connected trees through root grafts or maybe those fungal networks.
So it's like an internal alert system saying
Yeah.
damage reported, traveling through the wood.
That's a good way to put it. And recent research using very sensitive electrodes has actually managed to measure these signals. They've detected distinct electrical patterns in response to things like drought, heat, physical damage, even maybe specific chemicals. It suggests trees might sense or react electrically in ways we're only just starting to decode.
Wow. Okay, so taking all this together, the underground web, the airborne whispers, the electrical pulses, what does this actually mean for us, for how we think about forests?
Well, the implications are huge, really, on multiple levels. Ecologically, it hammers home the importance of biodiversity. Think about those big monoculture plantations, just rows and rows of the same tree species.
Yeah, you see them everywhere for timber or paper.
Right. But they lack the complex fungal networks and the interspecies communication that you find in a natural, diverse forest. This makes them much weaker, more vulnerable to pests, disease, climate stress.
Because they can't talk to each other or share resources effectively?
Exactly. A diverse, communicative forest is far more resilient. And importantly, healthier, more connected forests are also better at storing carbon dioxide, which is, pretty crucial right now.
Absolutely. And for conservation, how does this change things?
It fundamentally shifts the perspective. If trees are social beings in an interconnected community, then clear-cutting a forest isn't just removing individual trees, you're destroying a society. You're severing those vital communication lines, isolating survivors, potentially causing collapse.
So things like selective logging become even more important, leaving some of those big mother trees.
Precisely. Protecting those hub trees and the underlying fungal network is key to maintaining the forest's integrity and ability to regenerate. And this knowledge is also inspiring new approaches, like biomimicry. People are looking at these networks to design more resilient urban green spaces or even communication systems. In farming, too, fostering these natural soil fungi could cut down our reliance on chemical fertilizers, which would be a huge win for sustainability.
That makes so much sense. And you mentioned a philosophical angle, too, about individuality.
Yes, it really pushes us to ask, what is an individual tree? Is it just the trunk and leaves we see? Or is the real entity this larger interconnected network? Are forests, in a way, superorganisms?
A forest superorganism.
Oh, yeah.
That's a wild thought.
It is. And interestingly, it resonates strongly with how many indigenous cultures have viewed forests for millennia. Groups like the Haida people see forests as living communities, with elder trees guiding the younger ones. Combining that ancient wisdom with this new science gives us a much richer, more respectful way of relating to nature. It argues strongly for protecting old-growth forests as these reservoirs of ecological knowledge.
It sounds like we've learned so much, but I'm guessing there are still big questions, challenges in fully understanding this language.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of the really detailed research is still done in labs or small, controlled plots. Scaling these findings up to understand what's happening across vast, wild, incredibly complex forests is a huge challenge.
Right, the real world is messy.
Exactly. And climate change is a massive complicating factor. It's disrupting these networks, changing rainfall kills fungi, warmer soils impact roots, invasive species mess up the existing communication pathways.
So it's a race against time to understand and protect these systems.
In many ways, yes. But there's also hope in new technology. Scientists are looking at using AI to help map these underground networks, or using drones to monitor those airborne chemical signals over large areas. So discovery is accelerating.
Okay, so wrapping up, what's the big takeaway for someone listening right now, maybe looking out their window at a tree? We've journeyed through this hidden world, right? Trees warning each other, feeding their young, sending electrical alerts. It's this incredibly complex social life happening all around us, mostly unseen. It just highlights how interconnected everything in nature is and how vital it is to protect these systems. Life communicates and cooperates in ways we're only starting to grasp. And understanding this isn't just fascinating, it could lead to real solutions restoring land, maybe even making our own crops more resilient by tapping into these natural communication channels.
Yeah, fundamentally, it's about shifting our perception, moving away from seeing trees as just silent resources and recognizing them as active communicators, as members of a community. From that wood wide web beneath our feet to the chemical whispers on the breeze, it shows communication is so much broader than we thought. It really offers a deeper sense of connection to the natural world. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. Protecting these silent conversations, these intricate forest societies, isn't just crucial for the planet's health, it's essential for our own future, too. We really need to start listening to the trees. They have an awful lot to teach us.